Good afternoon, family. Thanks for checking out today's video. If you're new here, my name is Jonathan, and I created this channel as a way to record my progress as I work towards my goal of achieving a healthy weight. If you do enjoy my video, make sure you get subscribed to the channel. Also, make sure you click on that bell icon so you get alerted when I go live or post new videos. If you'd like to participate in on the discussion, you can join me live at 4 p.m. most weekdays, or outside of my live stream, consider joining our Discord server. There's a link for that down in the description below. If you are interested in getting some ideas of the meals that we enjoy, we have also created a Pinterest board. There's a link for that down in the description below. You guys can check that out to see some of the things that we eat on our whole food plant-based diet. If anybody has any non-scale victories they'd like to share, I'd love to hear your non-scale victories. I'd love to hear how you guys are doing on your diets. If you're waiting to get started, what's keeping you from getting started? What hurdles are in your way? And when you do get started, what are you going to do to make staying on your diet easier than the alternative? Today is weigh-in Wednesday, so I'm going to switch over to the scale setup here. See, today is Wednesday, April 20th, 2022. It is time for my weigh-in. It is also day 536 of my 3-year challenge to lose 300 pounds. A quick recap: I started this challenge on November 1st of 2020. I had a starting weight of 519.8 pounds. Last week, after gaining a pound, I was at 310.8 pounds, bringing my total weight loss to 209 pounds even. I'm going to go ahead and hop on the scale here and see how we did after the holiday weekend. 314.4. That is a 3.6 pound weight gain this past week. It is not what I want to see on the scale today, but it is what happened. So, I don't love the fact that I got on the scale and had a 3 pound weight gain. I had one day, it was Easter Sunday, where I guess went off the rails a little bit, had some sugar because there was candy around, and also did have a little bit of salt and a little bit of oil, but not 3.6 pounds worth. It's so frustrating because I really didn't feel like I did anything that would have drastically affected my diet or my progress. And then fast forward 3 days later, and I've gained 3 pounds. So it is unfortunate that I had that gain, but it really lights a fire under my butt to get things going in the right direction, because now I have 15 pounds till I get down to under 300 pounds. And I have determined that I'm going to do that in the next 15 days. So for me to lose the 15 pounds in 15 days, I'm going to have to put some work in, whether it be with what I'm eating, or definitely going to be with what I'm eating, but whether or not I need to add some more activity in, get some sweat going. My goal essentially is going to just be a pound lighter every single day from now until my 40th birthday. And I'm going to do whatever I have to do to get to that goal, because it's something that I really want to hit that milestone. And I have been able to hit all my other milestones for the most part so far. And I really need to kick this 310 to 315 pound range to the curb and get under 300 pounds so I don't ever have to see a 3 as the starting number on the scale again. Carrie's checking in saying, hey, Carrie, I hope everything's going great. I had a major weight gain this week. Did not feel like I had that much food that would justify having a 3 pound gain or almost 4 pound weight gain. I'm going to blame it on the salt. I'm going to say that I'm retaining fluid. I mean, it really is the only thing that makes sense is that I would be retaining the fluid because I didn't have 14,000 extra calories of food in the past week. So, um, I it's unfortunate that that is what happens, but all I can do is move forward from here and do everything in my power to get the scale going back in that right direction and get some momentum going. I really need to get some momentum going. Carrie says it's a bummer, stay the course and it will come off again. Yes, I am really hoping that I see some nice weight drop over the next couple days. I am going to monitor my weight. I'll probably update you guys just to keep myself even more accountable. I don't know that I'll bust out the camera and get on the scale every day for the next week, but I am going to hold myself more accountable, make sure that I get a pound a day off here for the next few days. But we are going to hide this here and just let it go. It's unfortunate. I'm still down for the year. I've still lost over almost 20 pounds since the beginning of 2022. And I'm still over 200 pounds lost since I started this challenge. So I just got to go with that and be happy with it. So, I don't have a whole lot to talk about today. I'm going to go over a little bit with the book I'm reading and probably make it a pretty short stream overall, with the disappointing weigh-in. I don't know how much I want to talk either. Uh, anyways, but I hope everybody had a great evening. I really had a great night and a great day. And regardless of what the scale did or what the scale says, I still enjoyed the last day. And I had a great time this weekend too. I wouldn't trade this Easter for any other experience that we've had or that I've had. So it's not something that I'm going to let get me down too much. I did take a photo of I took a photo of dinner last night. It was mega veggie chili, something real simple. I did have I had a bowl of this, and then I also did have some leftover rice and beans that we had from this weekend. They're like a Spanish rice and beans, kind of have rotel tomatoes in it, got some spice to it. And then I had this for dinner last night. And this was really good. I enjoyed it last night. It might have had a little bit more corn than we normally put in there, but I dumped the whole bag of corn in when finishing it off. And it was really, it was a great dinner. I did skip breakfast though, because I was worried days weigh in. Had I not skipped breakfast, I would have gained even more weight. So it's probably a good thing that I skipped breakfast. I'm feeling pretty good. I don't feel tired or anything. And with the amount of food that I eat, it takes some time for my body to process that bowl of mega veggie chili and the Spanish rice and beans. So missing a breakfast, I really don't think affects me a whole lot overall. It's when I get into being, 24 hours fasted or I guess 48 hours fasted. Once I start doing 2 or 3 days, then I start to notice an effect in my energy, which I don't want to screw myself up that way. I really don't want to fast to get down under 300 pounds. But if I get to that last week and I'm not seeing the results I want to see, then I might have to fast. After next week's weigh-in, we'll see how the weigh-in goes next week. But I'm determined to get under 300 pounds, and I'm gonna make it happen. Uh, let's see. Talked about food. I did have some oranges this morning, and cherry juice. I always drink my cherry juice. I love my cherry juice. Hopefully, it gets rid of the inflammation that I got from all of the salt from this weekend. Um, the only other thing really to update on is I've been listening to this book, Be Obsessed or Be Average by Grant Cardone. Jackfruit Watermelons, waving, saying hi. Hi, Jackfruit. I hope everything's going great for you. I saw that you did your water fast for 8 days last week. That's awesome. I hope you've recovered well and you've gotten back into the swing of eating things again, and you had a good experience with your water fast. But I've been listening to the book Be Obsessed or Be Average by Grant Cardone, and I continue to really like everything that he's saying in this book. If you can actually manifest these things, I guess, in the way that he is saying, or that you can, work the way that he is talking about working, which I kind of believe is true, then I am excited for the future. One of the things I brought up a little bit yesterday that I feel like I've kind of let go to the wayside is how much or how important getting this 300 pounds off has been for me. I've been so focused on just sticking to the diet and staying compliant on the diet that I haven't been focusing or worrying much about hitting my goal. And I feel like I really need to recommit and to make that goal again, what my priority is in regards to my weight loss. I just with how things have been for the last 9 months, I got injured, and then we kind of have been playing around with the diet there for quite a few months, introducing things in and taking them back out, that I have to go back and just look at how I was eating and what I was doing while I was actively losing that weight for that first 9 months where I lost that 200 pounds. Obviously I lost a ton of that very quickly with the water fast at the beginning, but then I was 100% committed to my diet. I was eating without any worry about temptation. There was so much focus that there was no room for any other of the white noise that was going around. That's when I was succeeding. That's when I was losing weight. It's when I've kind of been dipping my toe in and letting other things introduce themselves into our diet that I've really started to flounder or to get flustered with, with this plateau that's turning into the Great Plains of the Midwest with how big it is. But I am excited for this next 15 days and this challenge that, losing 15 pounds in 15 days is a big challenge for me, but I'm going to make it happen, and I'm going to take the steps to make it happen. And that's a big part of the book too. You can have these goals, but you have to make action, or you have to, do the things that make these goals a reality. But it was funny because in the book, I think it's like in the 3rd chapter, he kind of introduces an exercise, or he talks about how you should get up every morning and write your goals out. And even if it feels repetitive, just every day to put what your goals are on paper, and not just your daily goals, but what your big goals are. My big goal to lose 300 pounds, my big goals for my family, my big goals for my business, just all of those huge goals that you should write them out on paper so that you can, so it makes it more real, I guess, or it puts that into the world that's, your intention. And so yesterday I put down the goals that I thought were good goals. And another thing he talks about too that I really like is that when you write these goals down, don't write the goals down as if you're going to do them. My goal isn't to lose 300 pounds. My goal is that I've lost 300 pounds. So I would put lost 300 pounds, not lose 300 pounds. And there's a distinction there because you're writing the goals as if you've already achieved them so that you're visualizing the achievement of it, of the goal itself. And so my goal to lose 300 pounds is different than thinking of it as if it's already happened. And I had other goals for my family life and my business life that I put down on that sheet. And I thought it was a great exercise. And I kind of even upped my goal a little bit, than what I would say would be what would normally be a realistic kind of mentality of my goals. And then today I sat down and I wrote out the same goals, but almost every one of those goals I bumped it up a little bit. Maybe I said I wanted to do X dollar in sales before, and now this time I added a zero to that number of sales that I want to do in a day or a month. Or the other things that I put down there, I might have, instead of saying I want to do this in a year, I want to do this in 6 months. And so even within that one day, I kind of increased the goals that I put on paper, just from listening to his book. And then on the way into work today, I was even making goals for my wife. Well, I mean, it's goals for our stuff, not just making goals for you, but goals for us, like time with the family or things that we want to do with the kids and things like that. Um, but I put goals down today that were even grander than the goals I thought were grand yesterday. Then I was listening to his book on the way in, and he brought up the um the exercise from chapter 3, and he said that you're going to do that and then you're going to find that you're increasing those goals, like exactly what I had done without hearing this part of the book. He was explaining that I was going to end up doing that. And I did end up doing that. I did put larger goals on myself than I gave myself the day prior. Now, tomorrow's goals, there might not be a big jump, but they are very grand goals. They are not anything that I feel like in the current environment that I'm in that is actually achievable, but they are the things I need to have happen if I want my greatest goals to happen. I want to have the ability to relax with the family, or to spend time with the family, or to have my house paid off, or have cars, or have any of those types of things. If I want the big, for my, the big things for my kids to be wealthy because I created wealth in my lifetime would be a huge goal. I have to do a lot of little goals to get to that point, but to have that kind of uh success, I really want to have, I put these big lofty goals in front of myself. I kind of got lost here, but um and just listening to the book, it's got me thinking about how this challenge has panned out, and how other things or other aspects of my life where I've put goals in front of myself. And it really got me thinking about the ego trap that I got into, talking about that last couple weeks, and how we set this idea that we want to be perfect, or we want to hit our goals, and we create these goals that we feel are achievable. But then when we fall short of those goals that we feel are achievable, we get really discouraged. And when you kind of take his approach to your goal setting, then you don't necessarily get as discouraged. And I guess the best example I could give with it is through weight loss. But my goal right now for the next here week is to lose 15 pounds. But let's say that's your overall goal. Like you decide you want to lose weight and you set a goal. I want to lose 20 pounds in the next 2 months. And you kind of do some of that work to get to that goal, but you don't do everything you can. And at the end of 2 months, you've only lost 10 pounds. So you set a goal of losing 20 pounds and you only lost 10 pounds. You get real discouraged because you didn't live up to that potential that you created for yourself. And it it can be disheartening, and it really affects your mood overall. But if you would have set a goal to lose 60 pounds in 2 months, and then that's a goal that's not easily attainable. And with weight loss, it might be even tougher. But let's say for me in this thing is that I set a goal to lose 300 pounds in 3 years. And that is my big overriding goal, is to lose 300 pounds in 3 years. But then in that first 2 months, if I only lost 10 pounds, I might be disappointed, but I wouldn't be as disappointed as I was if my goal was to lose 20 pounds and not hit that goal than if my goal was 300 pounds and I'm not there yet. I don't know. I didn't do a great job explaining that. But anyways, just set your goals high, because what's the saying? I said it yet. The shoot for the moon, because if you miss, you're still amongst the stars. And I think that might be a good adage, that I'm shooting for the stars to lose 300 pounds, and I'm not going to miss. So it doesn't matter. But even if I did miss, if I stick to it, I'm going to be close, and I'm going to be far away from where I started. The other thing about like the goal setting is that made me think about my experience over the past year is with the last summer. I knew I wanted to do something to get active, to get my heart rate going, to see if I still had any of that athleticism that I had when I was a teenager, if that was still sticking around, or if I still had that at 39 years old. So I decided to do a sprint triathlon. And even at the time, I thought I was kind of crazy signing up for a sprint triathlon. I only gave myself 6 weeks notice, or 6 weeks to get ready. So I had 42 days to get myself ready. I was going from being pretty much sedentary. The only thing that I had going for me is that I had lost 150 pounds, but I could have easily said, hey, I'm going to do a 5K. I'm going to see how fast I can run a 5K. And that would have been a great goal that anybody from around me that saw where I was, or where I even was at that point, would have been like, yeah, doing a 5K, that would be such a great thing for you to do a 5K. And I, at the time, was like, I can do a 5K. I know a 5K I can do. I'm not going to break any records doing a 5K at 350 pounds, but I could complete a 5K. So why not look into something that's a little bit tougher? And I challenged myself to do a sprint triathlon, which was a 400-meter swim, a 15-mile bike ride, and a 5K run. So it was way loftier of an ambition than just doing a 5K. And it was something I didn't know that I would be able to do it. I didn't know that I was going to be able to complete the triathlon until I was out on the field actually doing the triathlon, because I had never put all three of those things together. I had barely swam 100 meters, probably never did 100-meter swimming getting ready for that. And I was getting in the water to swim 400 meters. I had done some 15-mile bike rides. I had done some 5K distances, but I hadn't done a thing where I did all three of those together. And I went at it and I got it done. And I am extremely grateful that I challenged myself to do it and that I was able to complete it. And that was, I feel like, a little bit of his 10x thing, take your goals and multiply them by 10. If your goal is to lose 30 pounds, then multiply it by 10, make your goal to lose 300. I know not everybody has that, but if your goal is to lose 10% of your body, whatever, just, I'm sure I can figure out a math way to make that work. But uh for me, the 10x might have been the time. A lot of times I would commit to doing a diet for 3 months or 4 months, but the 10x a 4 month commitment into 36-month commitment, that was a big challenge. And I'm excited. And the other things, like I talk about my goals changing, and my goals have changed in that I believe that I will get to 219.8 pounds. I don't have any doubt that eating this way over the long run, eventually I will be 219.8 pounds. But I do have kind of a inner goal of being under 200 pounds. Like, I don't know. It doesn't seem physically feasible that I could be under 200 pounds, but I really feel like that is what my goal is to get under 200 pounds. And having loose skin and things like that and whatever might get in the way of doing that. But um I just I think it's a goal worth having, and that would continually push me even further than the 320. So 220, the losing 300 pounds, getting under 220. Anyways, I did go longer than I expected today. I appreciate you guys following along. Unfortunately, I had a weight gain this week, which sucks, but I will survive it. Hopefully next week I'll be down under 308 pounds or 307 pounds. Yeah, 307.4 is the goal for next week, so that I can get under 300 pounds by my 40th birthday. Gonna make it happen. So I appreciate you all following along. I will be back on tomorrow with an update, and Friday and every other day of the week that I can get on an update. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, get subscribed to the channel. We had one less subscriber today than yesterday, so unfortunately one of my subscribers must have passed away and his family unsubscribed from my channel for him. I hate to see him go, but so I need 3 more to get to 500, guys. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit the subscribe. Also hit the like button. I think hitting like would really help get these videos seen as well. So hit that like button. If you haven't started your diet yet, get started right now. Nobody gets to their goals, looks back and says, man, I wish I would have waited. Everybody gets to their goal, looks back and says, I wish I would have started sooner. Don't fall for the two myths of moderation, the myth of moderate change, the idea that you can just have a salad before dinner and eventually you'll just be eating all salad, or the idea that you will slowly switch to a healthier way of eating by introducing healthy foods, is not feasible for most people. If that was the case, there'd be a lot of people that were already skinny because they would have been able to do it. The other myth, the myth of moderate consumption, the idea that a little bit of something is okay. A little bit of cocaine is okay as long as you have it in moderation. Not true. If you want to be healthy, if you want to see big changes in your health, you have to make big changes. And that is just the way it is, folks. So don't fall for the myths of moderation. I will see you guys tomorrow.